And then just hand it to the next person, and so it'll go round and round.
Okay, so I'm Lisa Richards, and I'm from Massachusetts.
I can't hear you, and I'm sitting next to you.
You know what? Then make the thing more. And my crew was created by being part of the movement from Amanda, who was 6 months old, and I have 7. So I'm here because this is where I belong, and these are my people, and my people are hurting, and it's not okay.
Woo!
That's right.
Oh, hey! And what part of the country are you from?
I said Massachusetts.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry, slap me.
No.
Okay, then.
Later.
Move on.
Move on. Rosa, who are you?
I'm not talking.
Okay, well, are any of the Richards going to talk? Okay, so Leon, he used to be named Chicago. He's changed to Leon, which is his real name. Is one of the emergency vans. It's a black minivan with stuff on top. That's your first aid van. So if it stops for you because you look like you're a hurting unit, then jump into it. Okay, so it's not a strange black man driving a black minivan taunting us. It's a support vehicle. Okay, so that's what we've been doing for 25, 30 years. So this is Evan. This is Rosa.
Rosa, Amanda, Eva with the blue hair, Alec with his flag, and Malik with the red cap.
Or you can just say thing 1 for any of us.
And then
it's
there's
fine.
Michael.
Michael's in the van with Dad.
Yeah.
So here you go. Your Woo! And the speaker thing we have to figure out how to work.
Okay, next in the circle.
No, nobody
You're going to go
wants it.
around. Thank you so much.
All right. All power to the people.
Yeah.
All power to the people.
Power to the people!
All power to the people.
Power to the people!
Power to the people. Those people aren't afraid to seize the power.
Okay.
Power to the people who ain't afraid to seize the power.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. All right. My name is Bilal Lee. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm with Poor Magazine, Oakland, California, Black Author, Witchin Territory. I'm glad to be out here today. Poor Magazine, we have a program called Homefulness, which is a indigenous, poor people, disabled people led landless movement. Because we believe that change comes from the bottom up, not from the top down. And those who are closer to the problem are those who are closer to the solution. And we're fighting gentrification in the Bay. We're fighting criminalization. San Francisco, that bastion of liberalism and progressiveness, it leads the state of California anti-homeless laws. So any solution to the homeless problem, any comprehensive solution, has to involve ending, repealing laws that criminalize people simply for being poor and being homeless.
Yes.
So we're here today joining this march because it's an important march. This is a poor people's led march. It's not a profitized march. It's not a middle class march. It's not a poverty pimp march. And I'm not saying those other ones are. You didn't hear that from me.
I'm going to quote it though.
But this is a led march. This is poor people led march. This is not a Democratic Party sponsored march to get votes in, to get the next asshole in office.
Yes!
This is a people-led march because I'm a former Black Panther. We say all power to the people.
Yes.
That the people are the solution, that the people make the revolution. So thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Oh.
We're glad you're here.
Oh.
Can you hand it down there?
Because I'm fucking loud.
Yeah, right on.
Wait, is this?
What's this? Yeah.
Hi guys.
Are you able to hold 2 things?
Hi. Hi. Tell us about
And then I could do the other one.
Well, I'm single. I live in Frankfurt. And I'm here because I know how fucked up the system is. I know that if anywhere is to start, I've been putting so much fucking time in Kensington. And there's a lot more of us than that. So working together, not fighting against one another, how shit gets done. So, woo!
Are you a pro-choice woman?
What?
Are you a formerly homeless woman.
Yes, I am.
Woo!
Yes, I went through the whole hellish program of everything, and now I have a housing voucher. At one point, I had a roommate who I had to confront about smoking crack in the living room. She didn't like that. She was a Kenzo, and we got new having cooking pots, like they were really nice, but yeah, she started bashing me over the head with the cooking pot. But I'm not like, you know, your quote unquote average person in that kind of program, so I did a lot of fucking damage, because it's like, no, I don't care that you're, you know, waving my meds at me. It's like, they're not gonna fuck me up or something, but like, you know, so it was like, no, you can't do that. And then it's like, you know, okay, fine, I'll find a legal route. And then it's like, you know, just drop it. But it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. And if there are people like addicts, and there are people who are like, you know, desperately trying to fucking take care of their families or whatever the fuck, like, how are they supposed to fucking live? Like, it was an entire full-time job. But that's it. Yay! Yay!
I'm Francis. I'm from upstate New York, Troy actually, and I'm here because we're not going to build a better society just by sitting around. We got to take part, and we got to take action.
Yes.
There it is there.
That's solid. Oh, I didn't drop the phone. Oh, hello. Oh, it's like half a blood cell.
So my name's Vanessa. My name's Vanessa. I just started the Philadelphia chapter of the Young Patriots. And I'm here because we don't need somebody from Penn with a master's degree in basket weaving to tell us about ourselves. We know the solutions to our communities. And like he said, and we don't need an organizer to get, you know, paid by the Ford Foundation or whatever foundation to tell us what to do. You know, we can do this ourselves, bottom up.
Woo! Yes, girl. Yes, queen.
Hi, my name is Allison McDowell. I'm a recovery. You're not pressing. All right. Okay. My name is Allison McDowell. I'm a recovering liberal.
Yes!
Congratulations!
I'm so proud.
I know they have a 12-step program for that.
Exactly. Yeah, well, that's why this is part of my program. So anyway, I'm standing in solidarity with y'all today. I have come into this movement relatively recently around supporting public education. And I've realized that the forces that are privatizing our schools and turning our children into data for profit, the social impact investing world that is also funded by the Ford Foundation, is actually coming after affordable housing and substance use treatment services and behavioral health services and all of the things that we care about. And the only way that we're going to be able to stand up against big data and the police state and predictive profiling is if we're in the streets together. So I appreciate the opportunity to stand next to you today. Thank you.
Yes. I love you.
My name is Steve Norris. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm currently homeless. I've been in and out of homelessness for the last 10 years.
I can't hear you, Harry.
I'd like to change the perception of homelessness. And what I mean by that is Donald Trump paid Russian hookers to urinate on each other, but I'm a scumbag because I'm on food stamps.
Yes, food stamps. Food stamps. Access card. Yeah.
My name is Shane Claiborne. I live in Kensington, Allegheny, just a mile or so from here. And I've been a part of the movement since '95 when Sherry and other folks here, the Kensington Welfare Rights Union, took over the church just a few blocks from here at 8th and York, and they hung a banner on the front that said, how can we worship a homeless man on Sunday? How can we worship a homeless man on Sunday and ignore one on Monday? And I got my second baptism in there and kind of connected my faith to justice, and we've been walking alongside each other ever since. So, yeah.
Solidarity.
So if you're in Philly, you got another home up in Kensington.
Yes.
Okay, hi, I'm Josie. I was from Berkeley, but now I no longer live anywhere. And I'm here to put my body on the front lines for change. I'm here in solidarity to learn from all of y'all, and I'm here in love.
Yay! Oh, I thought you were wearing
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi everyone, I'm Red.
Hi.
I'm from Oakland.
Oaktown.
I'm here because I've always not had everything. And I'm not very good at words. I'm just here to struggle on with everyone, you know, like keep it up, keep fighting, you know.
Yes.
That's all.
Keep fighting.
Yes.
My name's Harry.
Is medium or large?
My name's Harry, and I'm
What
from
size is that?
Portland, Michigan, a town of 4,000 residents. I'm also
If not, we
a
can get you
fired grocery clerk stocker.
I couldn't find any.
I come to Philly to rejoin the Poor People's Campaign after a 5-year leave of absence. I'm back, and I am going to enjoy this trip at whatever I can do.
Right on.
Where you from again?
Portland, Michigan.
Portland, Michigan. 4,000 residents. Tara, your phone. The young man sitting on the truck. Can you introduce yourself again?
Oh.
My name is James O'Neill. I'm from Philly and St. Paul, Minnesota. And I've been doing this with Sherry for about 20 years or more.
I'm Harvey Finkel. I've been photographing the Poor People's Movement since 1993. And I remember Sherry said we need somebody to photograph us. Meet us at the convention center. When I arrived, they were carrying Sherry out, dragging her out, arresting her along with everybody else. And it gives me pleasure, okay, personally it gives me pleasure to do this kind of work and photograph people like yourselves. And, that's what
And that was before there was all the live streaming. Woo!
It's a film.
We were film people.
Celluloid, right?
Take that back.
Celluloid.
We will pay $1 for any of those photographs for 30 freaking years, guys.
Nice.
30 years of free photography.
That's what's up.
Woo!
Well, I'm John Grant. I'm a photographer, but I'm also with Veterans for Peace.
Veterans for Peace.
And
Woo!
way back with Sherry, and I know we gave her an award back in 1999 when we had a convention here. So we've worked a long time with her, and we're here in solidarity today. It's a great morning.
Veterans, let's hear it for veterans.
Yeah.
Give your real testimony now, no pictures.
Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Robert Boyd, and I'm from Philadelphia. I'm here today because of God's grace and His mercy that He has bestowed upon me to put such a lady as Sherry in my life, who has came to court on my behalf. I was fighting some probation for 11 years that, you know, I've been trying to get off my back. And I'm currently homeless at this moment. It may not look like it, but I am. And I thank God for being here and to be able to support this group and this march and everything that goes along with it.
You look good in that t-shirt.
And to prison to homelessness.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yo, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Galen Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're all out here in the heat with us. Been a long time, you know what I mean, community, you know, fighter in relationship to, you know, trying to bring about concrete changes. Myself, I'm formerly homeless, my family, and wanted to really be about trying to ensure that, like, my kids and grandkids and generations to come
have to go through the same thing that I went through, me and my wife and my kids. And so this march is just another step in a stage in a relationship to taking baby steps, you know what I mean, to really taking down this real big problem that we got to come up with a real big solution for. And so all of us got to play a part, big, little, small. And again, I thank y'all for being out here with us, because we know, like, in order to really bring about change, it's going to take numbers, you know, and it's got to be a very diverse section of the population that really comes together to make this change happen.
That's right.
Woo!
Yeah.
Little baby brother. Woo!
Paul Grubb with the Hospital Workers Union, District 1199C, live in Reading.
All right.
Here in support of the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign, in solidarity with the working class. It's the real deal. Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. The nonprofits, the Dems, and the Republicans will not save us. In fact, they'll help kill us. That's why I'm here.
That's right.
Who's next? Can you hold it for her?
I'll hold it for you.
All right, go ahead.
Talk loudly.
In Spanish,
No.
In English.
My name's Maria Pamela Santiago, and I'm from Maryland, and I wanted to help people and civil rights and help make friends and make them happy.
Aww. That's it.
That's
all you need to do.
Well, you got
Thank
one.
you, sweetheart.
Make friends and make them feel happy.
Is that good?
Sherry,
She moved you.
I'd like to drop my cup.
Hi, my name is Elsa Bergman. I'm coming here today from Madison, Wisconsin.
You need to get out of the heat just a little bit.
Wait, we didn't hear her.
Hi, I'm Elsa
I'll hold this for you. Just think breaker one line.
Turn it around.
You're almost there.
That's it. That's the last step.
All right. Hi, my name is Elsa Noderman. I'm coming here from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes!
Go Badgers!
Wisconsin!
But prior to that, I was here in Philly organizing with the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. I'm out here because I think it's important that we walk what Galen has called the ugly road together. Because really, we got to come together to build a better future, and we got to do it today.
Oh.
Woo! My name is Sherry Honkala, and yeah, I'm just thrilled that you guys are here to walk this ugly road with us, because we're really trying to establish a poor people's liberation army. So similar to looking at Chiapas and Zapatistas, we're really in trouble. More people have died now here in this neighborhood and across the country from the opiate crisis than they did in Vietnam. And so we have to do something to make sure that that really soaks in and people understand it. It's a normal thing in our neighborhood to you know, bury people. And we buried somebody last week, somebody that we love very much that was planning on going this march, and his name was Muhammad. And we're tired of burying people. And as long as we continue to do things in the structure of the nonprofit industrial complex, we're going to continue to bury people. We can't afford to use old organizing methods that are clearly not working. When you have more people dying than died during Vietnam, and you continue to do things the old way, something is wrong. And so we have to confront that. I mean, it's very hard. It's very hard to teach your children that they're growing up and living in a war zone. But damn it, like my son Guillermo, who will be here tonight, has buried more people than anybody has buried more people than, you know, I did as a child. And our children shouldn't know so many people dying. That's it. They just shouldn't. And so that's why we're really happy that our veterans, that's why we're really happy that our vets, we're going to learn from these brothers and sisters on how to deal with things like post-traumatic stress disorder, how to deal with burying loved ones on a regular basis. And we're going to figure out how to take this thing away from the nonprofit industrial complex. Poverty is something that we should no longer tolerate making a profit off of. The situation is so freaking dire. If you're making money from some nonprofit and getting big time money, don't even talk to me. Yes! Don't even talk to me. Because the people here in this movement, they understand how bad this crisis is. So they open up their own doors.
Thank you.
They clear out their cupboards and they give their own damn food. And the only way we're going to get to the next point in this movement is if we understand at the end of the day, all we have is each other. And that means we got to start sharing, and that's sharing for real. So if you got some big damn budget, and you ain't figuring out how to feed, clothe, and house your troops in order to keep them alive, we don't have time. We don't have time for you because you're hurting the people right now. So we don't need any more studies about why people are homeless. We don't need any more studies about like how land use and all this other stuff. We need to make sure that we put an end to the fact that more people have died now than during Vietnam due to this economic crisis associated with the opiate crisis. So, anyway, I was just supposed to say who I am, where I'm from. My name is Sherry Hockle. I'm from my mother, who would be out here if she wasn't, you know, deathly ill. Every major march, my mom played a role in helping to make food. And so we're going to make it ourselves together.
That's right.
We don't have no budget. Anybody that's watching this, we don't have any money. No, we do not have a budget. We don't know where all the food is coming from for the days to come up. No, we hope that we have enough trash bags and different shoes. We hope that we have enough blankets for the night. We are looking for net bags. Anybody that wants to volunteer, come out and dry our clothes tonight. We would love you to come out and dry our clothes at the laundromat. So yeah, so follow us every day, and I'll move it on.
Quick question
Yes.
for you. If people want to donate and help, how can they do that? Just show up, or how can they
What's the
donate?
website?
Either way, they can go to economichumanrights.org. They can push donate, and that, as soon as that money goes in, it's coming out.
Okay. Thank you.
There is no, is that in the budget line or?
No.
Okay. It's in the red. We are serious in the red, guys. So anyway, next. Or you know, you guys, we go panhandle, which is against the law.
Yeah, right.
We're
That's what
going
I'm talking about.
panhandle all the way to DC. Do
That's
I
what
see
I'm
any
talking
panhandlers? Okay, so
Panhandle
anybody
for the
that's driving
revolution.
along the roadside that feels like they can't march, but they want to give us $10, $20, we're gonna take it. And I'm gonna pass the mic. I can't hear you.
Apollo, Mark Apollo, but just Apollo, down from New York. city. Actually, my friend John Penley is the one who suggested I come down and live stream the march from here going towards DC. Yeah, I already knew about it and the campaign and stuff being done on, but I didn't realize there was a march coming from DC. I kept thinking Washington is where it was starting from, where just people were converging there. So this is definitely good to see. Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned it to someone earlier. It's like a lot of you realize how important this is, but this is significant historically. Each one of you is part of an historic event out here, whether you believe it or not. There are going to be notes in history books with a photo of a bunch of you in there. This is very significant. What you do can shape the future. I'm here just to support and however I can, get the information out, share part of the march out, let people know, try to encourage them to come out and join up with you guys as the march is going along.
I'm Jennifer Jewell. So I'm formerly homeless organizer out of Louisville. I live in Maryland now. Was an organizer with Women in Transition, and we focused on economic human rights. And really it was when, almost 20 years ago actually now, I met Sherry and Galen. And we were working around a welfare rights frame, and we were groveling like, please, please share your welfare. And it wasn't until we met PPERC, it wasn't until we met up with the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign that we recognized that we have a right to economic human rights. We have a right to housing. We have a right to living wages. We have a right to jobs, better education. And it was within that we saw a transformation within our membership. That it wasn't shameful that we were poor people, but that we were people that were resourceful and making do with what we had, but building to make changes in the system. Yes. And what we know is that this system was created to make sure that we are poor. Yes. It was created to make sure that we are poor. That's and right. It is up to us, led by the poor, in order to change this. And so I'm joining with my kids because this is historic and this is necessary, and we're gonna do this shit. Yes.
Hi, I'm Virginia. I'm from Troy, New York. I'm here primarily representing our Knowledge, Our Power, welfare rights and economic justice group in the capital region of upstate New York. Also joined up with the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign about 10 years ago to start doing the work of helping people see themselves and identify with the political identity of poor or poor and working people. For lots of the same reasons that you just said. And one of the things I want to say is that the reality in the United States is 51% of us will be below the poverty line at some point in our lives, and a full 2/3 of us will receive means-tested public assistance. That's straight welfare, that's not reduced price school lunches, that's not Social Security. So though we don't all experience poverty in the same way, it is a majority condition in the United States, and we need to start telling different stories because we don't tell that story. We don't tell the story that poverty is all of us. So the other hat that I'm wearing while I'm here is as a storyteller. I'm writing right now for The Nation. I won't write about you unless I clear it with you first, but I'd love to talk to folks. I'll be here for at least the first 3 days and the last 3 days, and I'm super excited to be here, and thank you so much for the hospitality and the hard work.
Oh, thank you.
All right, I don't want to have to call you out. Herman, Shark. Shark. Robert. Richard. Shay.
Sherry here?
Sherry over. Who's got the bullhorn?
Doesn't really work.
Doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work. You gotta use your voice. It has to be loud and clear.
Hi, I'm Charmaine Shark Barrows. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I'm with the Poor People Economic Human Rights Campaign and the League of Revolutionaries for a New America, the Indigenous Party, the Green Party of the United States, the Indigenous Caucus, among many other groups. I've been in the movement most of my life. I have a lot of children, a lot of grandchildren, a lot of great-grandchildren. That's why I'm here to march, because we know a better world is possible if we do it together. And so I'm glad to see everybody here. I'm glad to be a part of this march. I'm glad to be with my brother Edmond, that's from Philly, here with the DAP. And he'll speak for himself. And I'm glad to see everybody here. Thank you with all my heart. This march. Woo!
Yes. My name is Herman Parodi. I am with
Loud!
It's loud enough, I think. What you think? My name is Herman Parodi. I'm with ADAPT. Last year, we were around for 30-something years. Last year, we got arrested more than 10 times, making sure that our health care was protected, that they didn't completely gut Medicaid, Medicare, and Obamacare. We make sure now, this year, there's a place up in Massachusetts that is doing shock aversions. It's a place that is shocking children with autism, mostly people of color, to behaviorally adapt them to what we think is best. We're talking about children with autism and up to 60 years old. Over 200 people in the Judge Rothenberg Center in Canton, Massachusetts. This is a place that is using shocks that are higher voltage than police tasers. I see it. It's already back there. This place needs to be shut down, and the FDA somehow regulates it. And the FDA administrator, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, has had a regulation to stop this for 2 years. He hasn't signed it. Making sure that this is stopped in a very hardcore activist manner. A few months ago, right before the last nor'easter, we camped out in DC in front of his house for 2 weeks. And then at the end, during the night of the nor'easter, got into the FDA, got inside at 8:30 in the evening. Woo! Chanted in their headquarters for 3-4 hours until midnight. We got out and then blocked the highway right across the street till 4 a.m. as the nor'easter froze up.
In the snow and in the rain and in the ice with the military.
Speaking of the rain.
Sean was there.
She's gone.
Now this year, this has been our main focus. But always, that focuses on the institutionalization of people with disabilities in nursing homes and other institutions. We need community services to be an entitlement as nursing homes are. We all need at one point some assistance, one way or another. We live long enough. There is a bill called the Disability Integration Act, bicameral and bipartisan, and we need to make sure that when you go back to your states after this, remember, Disability Integration Act. Talk to your congresspeople, tell them to sign on.
Woo! Yes. And just a point of reference, there's 6 youth that are signed up on this march that are autistic and are really absolutely thrilled that ADAPT has played that leadership role in trying to stop this crap.
Thank you. Now as you march down, you have healthcare to fight for. You have imprisonment to fight for. As Martin Luther King started the Poor People Human Rights Campaign, the concept of economic justice is what we live for.
Oh.
Many of us know what happened in Puerto Rico last year, still today, 8 months later, after Hurricane Maria, and some without light or water since Hurricane Irma. I went there a week after Hurricane Maria hit with Shaylin over here. And we were there for 3 weeks, strictly finding people with disabilities, helped them however we could with whatever they needed. We evacuated children, We made sure that people had the oxygen they needed, the dialysis they needed, because the government did not, has not, is not ready.
And will not.
I met with FEMA directors in the last year in Puerto Rico, and a couple weeks ago at a conference in DC. They are not ready.
The mayor of Puerto Rico was here, and he was here for privatizing Puerto Rican schools.
Yes. No. Keep in mind, for those of us that don't remember, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory.
Yes.
As is Guam, as is American Samoa, as are the Virgin Islands. We are looking at a year with over 15 hurricanes, says the weather. This is a place, I'm saying this is a place, United States, where there's no reason why people do not have a resource for water, which was the biggest issue in Puerto Rico, and in some places saying over 20,000 families still do not have access to potable water. There is no reason why in the United States we shouldn't have a reliable electric grid. And Puerto Rico is susceptible to a vehicle crashing into one tower and the whole island. Light dropping. So as you march down, and I'll see you all feeling today, don't forget, we all are humans. We live on Earth. We happen to be American citizens, and we will demand those who we employ in DC and across the way and across the nation, if they don't do the job we tell them to do, there will be a revolution. Starting to rain. It looks like about a flash flood that's coming for about 10 minutes. If it's going to be wet, it's going to be real wet. Let's get ready. And Sherry.
Woo! Anybody else that wasn't introduced? It's important.
Incarcerated for crimes of poverty. That's being homeless, poor, and on welfare in this capitalist society. Currently at risk of falling back in those cracks, but I'm on the earth to save the world through the word and the process. Maybe me and mine. Thank you to the Boricua Brother. So much love. Thank you to all of the people out here. Poets of Poor Magazine is here. We're going to be performing on stage, and we're building a poor people-led revolution in deep East occupied territory in Oakland, because we don't need to wait for these politricksters. They don't got nothing on us, and the philanthropists, you know what to do. So this is actually a poor people-led revolution. Hey! Happy people!
Good stuff.
Now that one's not